And welcome to PapastachePop, where we do things all pop and country, past, present, and future. But anyways, forget about that. If you got a song request, down below, like right down there, there's a link, and that'll get you to the request page, and that's where I look to find what all the people are requesting, want to hear, want lessons on. Doesn't necessarily have to be songs. You know, you can be like, hey, teach me how to strum, or teach me how to solo, or whatever. So it doesn't just have to be songs. You know, it's a request link just in general. But songs, you know, are welcome there too. So anyways, let's zoom in for a closer look. All right, so the song obviously is predominantly piano, or all piano and keyboard. So what we can do is a number of different things. We can strum it. We can do what I'm going to show you how to do. We can pluck it with our pick and fingers, or you know, you can just do all fingers, whatever you want. But it kind of mimics the piano better when you pluck and then pick the bass line, right? So the chords that we're going to use: D, E minor, G, or G like that, and A. Now that's going to get us through the intro and most of the verse until we get to the pre-chorus, which is going to be a little bit different. So let's go over this part. What we can do is, when we're on that D chord, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with these two fingers, I'm going to pluck the G and the B strings. And then I'm going to go to the bass note of the chord. In this instance is the D note, or the D string. So we got... I'm going to do that twice. And then I'm going to do the same thing for each chord after that, although they will be different strings, same basic principle, right? So from there, we're going to go to an E minor chord. Now you can pick those two, which is the B and the G and the E, or you can pick the D and the G and then go back to the E string, right? So we got... I prefer the sound of the D and G, but it doesn't matter. Both, they're all, you know, notes in the chord, so they'll all work great. From there, I'm going to go back to the B and G and then go to the G chord. Right, so we're still going up to that low E string, so we've done two chords in a row on that low E string for our bass note. So all together we have, right? And then now we're going to go to an A chord, which I'm going to use the G and B and the A string now. Or you can do the D and the G. Doesn't really matter, right? It's just that basic simulation of what the piano is doing. It's going back and forth between bass and then the higher notes in the chord. So all together, you get something like that. Now it's going to be an intro of 2 times through that progression, and then it's going to go 4 times in the verse before it gets to the pre-chorus, which is a little bit different. So let's go over that. All right, so for the pre-chorus, it's going to be a B minor, and then we're going to go to a D, and then to a G on the first time around. The second time around, we're going to go G, same basic start, but then we're going to resolve to an A. Okay, so keep in mind, you know, on any of this stuff, we can do a strum, right? We can totally play the whole song that way, right? And if you're just learning how to pick and to strum and do all that stuff, that's great. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, start trying to pluck with your fingers, because you're going to find that in a lot of pop songs. They're going to have that technique. Now, it's not always going to be with the pick and fingers. You'll find that, you know, a ton in country, but a lot of people will use their thumb. It's just easy because I'm used to doing the country thing. So obviously, in place of a pick like this, you can always just use your thumb, and your first two fingers are your thumb, and your next two fingers, right? So, anyways, from there, we're going to go. So, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to switch chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to do that 4 times on the G. Then we're going to go. And what I've done is I've put my first finger on the same string, the B string, as my ring finger. And I'm just going to pluck the B and the G together. But now I'm going to be on open G string and then the first fret, or second fret rather, excuse me, of the B string. And then I'm going to pluck those two strings again and put back on my ring finger. So we got. So we go to the G. 2, 3, 4. So I went. Okay, so we plucked it first, twice in a row, then we went back to the E string, and then I plucked on the third fret again, right? Once. So we got. And then I'm going to do it again. So that whole transition to the G through that little melody line is going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the B minor. D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, into the chorus. So all together. All right, now the chorus is just going to be tying together everything we've done thus far. It's a little bit different in the timing, but it's all the same chords. It's going to start off with 2 of this progression. So we're going to go like we did in the beginning. All right, so we'll do it one more time. Then the second part of the chorus is going to do B minor, D, G, A, and then we're going to go back to what we did in the beginning. D, E minor, G, A. So if we played it all together, it'd sound like. Is the chorus. All right, so now let's hit up that bridge. What we're going to do is we're just going to do some chords we've already done. A, D, G, and A. The timing is a little bit tricky, but I know you all can do it out there. So that's going to be the first part of the bridge. Again, it's A, D, G, A. And we're going to repeat that cycle twice. From there, it's going to go to G, B minor, E minor, B minor. Okay, so it's G, B minor, E minor, B minor, and then to get out of the bridge, G, and then to A. Okay, so the timing. That first part, I'm plucking the D and G, or again, you can do the G and B. It doesn't matter. They're all notes of the A chord, right? But I'm just plucking the D and G and then going back to the A. So I go. just like normal. D, just like normal. Now when I get to the G, I go D and G, just like normal, right? But I don't go back to this low string. I hit the A chord right there, so it's going to sound like. Again, so once we get to that G, pluck D and G, E, D and G, switch chords to A, pluck D and G again. So we got. So all together. One more time, slowly. Up to speed. Now that rhythm is going to be basically the same thing we're going to do on the next group. So then coming out of that, we got. Now we're going to go G, B minor. See how I did the same thing on the E minor to B minor. We got. Same timing. And then we're going to go back to straight. 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4. Now out of that, we're going to go back into the chorus. And we're going to do the D, E minor, G, A, just like normal. We're going to do that 3 times. All right, so coming out of the end of the song, we're going to come to a part where I'm just going to do downstrokes, and you can use your thumb or your pick or whatever. It's going to be the only real change or departure from the chord progressions we've been doing. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically make a C add 9 chord, and I'm just going to use my 2nd and 3rd finger. And I'm only going to hit from the A to the B string. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that chord 3 times, all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put my 1st finger on the 2nd fret, keep the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go to G. 1, 2, 3, right? We can do all this with 2 fingers. If you're going to do the G like that, make sure that this finger mutes out that A string. And then we're going to go to an A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you notice, the chords, the 1st chord and the 2nd chord, 3 hits, 5 hits. Same thing with this next 2 group of chords, 3 hits, 5 hits. So you have groups of 8 basically. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Twice. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you go back into the beginning. That's how it ends. Yes! Way to go. Don't forget about the link down there. It's right about there. And that will get you to the request zone. It can be any kind of request for lessons, whether it's songs or how to solo or any of that kind of stuff. So make sure you click that link below. That would be great. And if you like what you see, please, by all means, spread the word, share the videos, post it on Facebook, or there's like a billion social medias now. So whatever one you want to post on, I would totally appreciate it. You guys are the best. As always, thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.